Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we wonder why Luke, Goeken, and Phil aren't going to Key West.
What's the deal?
My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Phil Collin, Lucatero, and Jim Goeken.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Everyone.
Hey. Hey, so Becca, yeah, we know Key West is awesome. The weather's great, the food's great, the bars are awesome. It's a lot of fun. So many things to do. So it has to be us because it's not.
It must.
The place is the destination's not the factor here. Yeah. So we're going to delve into that and try to drill down here and get them to admit that they just don't like us.
Yeah.
We'll get to that after the break, though. For right now, Goeken said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, sir?
Yeah, so in the history here of the last couple of weeks, we've had some of that white stuff fall on the ground, and I notice I work from home, so I see all the neighbors and how they remove their snow, right. and I'm curious, a couple things. Are you a person who is out there and shovels the driveway and gets it all cleared off and cleans everything up with a shovel? Or are you a snowblower person and make the work easy? Or are you the person that's just like, it'll warm up at some point and melt it away and I'm just going to leave it?
Yeah.
Well, the warming up doesn't do me good because I have to go places. So if I wait until it's 50 degrees, I'll be trapped at home till March. So that one's out.
Oh, okay. I disagree with Phil in that I don't know. Now this year's different. All bets are off with what happened to us this past week. We haven't had, the snow's now been on the ground for a week. We haven't had in St. Louis snow on the ground for more than 2 days at a time. We've had snow, but like a day later, it's up to 45 degrees, melts. Yeah, we haven't had one like this in years. So for the most part, I've been the guy to just kind of either number one, let it go and let nature take its course because it's going to go away quickly. Or number two, I wait until my neighbor's out there because he's got a plow on the front of like a 4Runner, and he won't do it if I just leave it. He won't just come over and do it. He doesn't want me to ask him. I know that. So what I do is I just go out when he's out there. Then I start working, and then he sees me, and I think then he feels sorry for me, so he come over and does it. And it doesn't take him 5 minutes.
Whole strategy.
I'm hovering. I'm like, I wonder when he's going to get out there. So yeah,
I don't want this guy dropping dead of a heart attack while I got a four-wheeler over here.
Exactly. So that's my plan. Let strategically have the neighbor do it. So yes, yeah.
Very smart.
I like that strategy.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah.
Out here where we get it, I'm the one that gets the snow shovel out, and I get after it right away and get it over and done with. Because typically when it does, if I don't do it, it just ices up, and then the War Department gets on me. So that's
you got trouble.
And I've made I made my living not to be in trouble with the War Department.
Right. Right. Luke, I want to ask you this. why are there no kids that come around and shovel the driveways anymore? Because I used to do that. Me and my neighbor, Stephen Doyle, the two of us would hit the road as soon as we could because school would be called off. We find school's called off, we grab shovels, and then we go out. And there's no kids that shovel driveways anymore.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
So,
and I'm a prime candidate for this. I'm an old guy. Yeah. I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah, you'll pay.
That's a good thing to bring up, Steve, because growing up, when I was little, we used to have to do that. My dad and the other dads just didn't even tell us. They expected us to do it without being told.
Right.
And so when Lucas was of the age that he could do that, he went around the neighborhood and did that. Mm-hmm. But now there aren't any kids of that age in our neighborhood anymore.
Okay.
So now it's all the old geezers like me, and I'm 82 years old. Jeez, I can't be.
You got to be out there shoveling at 82. man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what happened to them, Steve.
The kids are gone. They don't come by. Yeah.
They're all on their phones.
They're all playing video games.
They're playing the latest app called Snow Shoveler, where you move your hand on the shovel.
So, Phil, you said you got to clean it right away. Are you a snow shovel guy? Or
I'm a lot of Luke. I get out as soon as the daylight breaks and the snow stops, and get in there and start moving it and get the driveway clear. I take a lot of pride. I don't there's not a whole lot. I'm not chopping wood. I'm not lighting fires. This is the lumber manly side coming out and helping out.
It's the manly side. You got the snow and it's looking good.
And then I look at the drivers, the neighbor's drive, and I say they could use a good shoveling. And I say, well, that's their problem. And then I go inside and do some hot chocolate. But no, I get out and I shovel it. I shovel.
Okay. All right. Goeken, how about you? No, you asked. Becca's next. Becca, if it's going to happen at the Neely house, it's not going to be Royce. So, Becca, you out there shoveling, or what happens here?
So that's a very solid point.
Right.
So
he's got the Bobcat.
Royce often believes that we will not get any snow. And then he was
even when the forecast calls for snow, he's like, "That's not going to happen."
Well, it often, they say it's going to be Snowmageddon, and then we get 2 inches of snow, and that's it.
Yeah,
we've seen it happen.
So Royce usually just doesn't believe that that's going to happen, which has been fair until this time that he was.
This time got us all.
This time, it actually happened. And so a big problem is it's not so much our house, but we can't get into the distillery. And we can't get customers into the distillery because our parking lot is full of snow. And so Royce went and bought a Bobcat.
He's been looking for a reason.
Yeah, well, it's funny enough. So his dad had been asking him to buy a Bobcat for the past month, and Royce is like, "There's nothing we need that for. We don't get enough snow. It's a waste of money. We're not buying a Bobcat." And so he was very firmly like, "We're not buying a Bobcat. We're not doing that. We're not spending that money." And then we got the snow, and he went and bought a Bobcat. And then, funny enough, the one that they got it for a relatively good deal, but it doesn't have the cab on it. There's a roof, but it's not enclosed in the front.
Open air, yeah.
Open air. And I'll tell you what, if there's one thing that boy does not like, it is cold.
Right, that sucks.
And so one of his friends showed up. He's like, "Hey, can we use your Bobcat?"
Oh, there you go.
Because of course, the one that we bought right when we bought it, the wheel, it has tires on it, and one of the rims popped off, or the wheel popped off the tire, so it needed to be put back on. So we couldn't even use the Bobcat that we just purchased. So he called his friend and said, "Hey, can you bring your Bobcat over?" And so he brought his Bobcat over, and of course it's the one that's enclosed. And so we're saying, "Well, we want this Bobcat instead."
Oh, so now you're going to get one of those?
So now we have 2 Bobcats.
Oh, you got 2.
Phenomenal.
2 Bobcats.
Why have one when you can have 2?
The other one were.
So did he officially buy the other one, or is it still just on the borrowed?
No, he bought it. Because he was like, "That's fun."
Yeah.
I'm like, of course.
You could race them.
Yeah, I'm like, how fun. So he's got
a winter one and a summer one now.
Yeah, well, he's going to fix the other one because there was just a few things that needed to be improved on the older cabless one. So he's going to just sell that one, and we're going to have the one that's actually nicer.
Right.
So that's what we do, is just go buy equipment now.
So an important tip, buy the one with the cab. Don't get
buy
the
the one
open
with the
air.
cab, because he was like, I'm froze. And I was like, why is he froze? Because like that's not even like a thing in North Dakota. Like, what do you
Right.
mean you don't have a cab on your Bobcat? Like that's just not even like sold up there.
Right.
So I didn't even think about that. And then today I went out and looked at it. I was like, oh, that's why you didn't want this one, was it's freezing in this one.
I tell you what, I'm jealous because, man, I have no use for a Bobcat. But for something like that, like this thing, I was like, man, I wish I
Great.
just had a Bobcat. And I would even help other people. Kind Steve would come out because I just want to show the Bobcat off. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be the guy that would be out there. I'd be helping people.
Yeah, so
Plow the whole street.
Yeah.
Royce got all the snow moved at our house and at the distillery, but we did do some shoveling, which also another perk to owning a business is you have employees
Yes.
that are there, and the only way that they can work is if people can get there, and so they
Put 'em
need
to work. Yeah.
know to do that. But no one shoveled at our house.
Yeah.
But and I did do a little bit of shoveling, slightly, but
So
not
there you go.
not enough to impact anything. Honestly.
Okay.
So.
Goeken, you asked the question. How about you, man?
I'm a little of both. I usually watch the forecast pretty heavily, and I'm a little bit like Royce. I don't typically believe the weatherman when they say we're going to get 2 to
Right.
3 inches. You know,
Yeah.
if they're calling for that, I don't even worry about it. But they were calling for a foot here. Leading up to it. So a couple days before, I got my snowblower out. I got my generator out. I've got a hookup for my generator, so if the power goes out, I can power the house. And I got those all running. Those have 2-year-old gas in them, so you got to clean that all out and get everything ready. And I was having trouble. I wanted to start with the snowblower, but it snowed for so long that I didn't want to have to do it twice. So I actually, the wife's school got called off, and I work at home, so we didn't have to go anywhere the first day. But I got out the second day and used the snowblower and cleared everything off, and you get it cleared off at the base of the driveway, and then the street,
Right. They come through.
the city comes through, and they plow a big area, and they
Put a
actually did
barrier
really
across the end of your driveway. Yeah.
they did really good this time. They lifted the plow up and didn't push any right in front of my drive. I was very happy because I had it all cleared out.
Right.
Not nice straight lines. I grew up on a farm, so everything has end rows and it's nice and neat. My wife comes out and she's like, I want you to look at everybody else's drive and then look at ours. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, everybody else's is kind of, they've blown it off or they've shoveled it off, but yours is like straight lines everywhere. You had to have straight lines down each side. I was like, yeah, you got to have end rows. I mean, it's got to look good.
That's
Something
called
to be
OCD.
proud of.
OCD. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be proud of how it looks. I mean,
That's
like, really,
right.
though, a lot of times it's just like a huge fucking mess. And it is nice when it actually looks good. I mean, after it stopped snowing, the only spot in our parking lot to park was where Royce just did donuts in his truck to make snow, because we didn't have the Bobcat yet. So we just had a circle in the snow where you had to jump that where the plows had pushed it in. So you had to jump that, and then you have to stop it pretty quickly.
Like Dukes of Hazzard in your distillery in Sparta.
Oh yeah. So you had to stop pretty quickly. And it was funny though, because I look at the cameras before we had the snow moved, and I look at the cameras and there'd be cars parked in this like circle in the parking lot. So we needed Royce just was like, as he was doing all this, he goes, I'm not getting caught with my pants down again with the fucking snowstorm. I was like, I'm not doing this again where like we can't have, like no one could show up, no one could get in. He's like, we're not doing this a second time around.
A good solution is 2 Bobcats.
Yeah, that's the only
The convertible of Bobcats and then the hardtop of Bobcats.
Exactly.
There you go.
We're good now. I'll tell you that much. We're not gonna get stuck in that situation. Also, the main reason why this all happened was because the guy that was supposed to move our snow never fucking showed up until like 3.5 days after. And he showed up like in the afternoon, and Royce is like, we're not fucking doing this. We're not depending on anybody else. I will move the snow. I'm not gonna wait for anyone else to do this for us.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
That's it.
There it is.
You want the job done, do it yourself.
Do it yourself. Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Beka. Beka, what do you got?
I have got some Old Monroe, pot distilled, 90 proof. I don't know when this is from. It kind of looks, I mean, it's the pot distilled one. How old is this?
That's old. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't even know.
Hasn't been, well, the pot still could, released, made versus released. I don't know.
It doesn't have
Who
an
knows? Who
age
knows?
on it. It's a small batch, but there's no age on it, so okay.
Readings for suckers. Just
Yeah,
ain't
so
the
I'm like,
beautiful
looking, I'm
thing.
like, I don't see anything, but maybe I don't know how to read anyhow.
I'm going to say that's from 4 years ago.
Yeah, but it's
It's been a while. Yeah.
barrel number 130.
Oh,
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty. Yeah. There you go. Early on. Okay. Basie, good. Could be enough. If the things fall in line for you, Beka, that could be an effort that's good enough. We'll see. Looks like Goken's ready to go. He looks
yeah, I was
locked
gonna
and
say
loaded.
he looks nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do very well at this. I have a Yellowstone single barrel from Jim Fosnot at the Total Wine in Missouri.
Okay.
This is my last bottle of this one,
Okay.
fresh.
Okay. That's enough. That's enough to take the lead.
He came to play.
He's got the lead. Luke's up next.
All right, I'm gonna go with some old Ezra. It's the barrel strength.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Good ones.
That was good. I don't think it was good enough to pass Goken, though. I think Goken still has the lead. Phil Collins next.
From America's Dairyland, we've got this nice square bottle of Driftless Glen.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, it sounded so good yesterday.
No,
I
no.
said, oh,
Not today, though.
not today.
I've got James E. Pepper from their decanter series. So one of the best looking bottles in whiskey today.
Agree to disagree.
You don't like this one?
I don't.
Why not?
Well, that's another show.
You don't like the whiskey, or you
No,
don't
the
like the
bottle
bottle?
design. I don't care for
I
the
don't
bottle
like the bottle
design.
design.
I don't
Yeah.
know that I enjoy it either.
Do you not like it because, like the bartender wouldn't like it? It takes
No,
up a lot
it
of
looks
real
like
estate?
a purse.
Yeah, for me, it's a
like a
throwback to
pineapple,
an
though.
unattractive era. Like that's a time when I didn't think bottles looked all that great. I don't think it's
You
a
weren't even
well
around
designed
then. This is from like
there's books and magazines. It's not like I don't know what happened.
It kind of looks like a purse or a perfume bottle.
I didn't
I
mean to
think
derail it. This is a whole.
I
other
think
show.
it looks way better than anything today. I think this is this is awesome. So,
It's your show, and you
Yeah.
must be right. So.
James E. Pepper, congratulations on this. This is a win. Swide on the set. Let's see if we can win with the cork pop. Here we go. No. Nothing there. Nothing there.
Sloshy.
Slushy and quiet. So Goken wins.
Hey, well done, rookie.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking the Key West Distillers Summit. 2 of us are going, 3 of us aren't. Why? We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
My name is Ryan Thompson. I'm a billionaire who buys stupid scotch, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking, why did these guys not come with us to Key West?
Yeah. What is it about us you guys don't
What
know?
did we do wrong, Steve?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is it about our polarizing personalities that have run these people off?
Is any of them man enough to admit why they didn't come? Why they don't like us, Beka? We'll see.
I mean, it's okay to not like us.
Right.
It's all right. I mean, I get it.
So silent.
Well, I don't like any of you.
The only person that I'm going to believe is going to be Luke. I'm sure that Luke is very busy, and that's the only reason he couldn't go.
Sure. I'm sure.
I have a flat tire. That's why I can't. Make it.
Flat tire.
And flat tire on the way to the dentist. And then I got some dishes I got to do.
Yeah.
Get a jump start on my
Phil,
taxes.
you're the only one out of this group that's danced with this a little bit. There's been
Yes.
times when you said you're working on it, you're going to come and all this, but you never have, of course.
The real reason is I love Key West so much that I'm afraid if I go, I will never come back home, and I will relocate to Key West with the chickens.
That's
and the
almost
whiskey
happened with both
yeah.
Steve and Royce.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're going to sell coconuts.
Right. That's all we need.
By the southernmost point and live under a palm tree.
Yeah, see, this
maybe
sounds
it's a
idyllic.
good thing if you don't come with, because you could be the tipping point for them to go, there's three of us that we can work swing shifts here, like we can work around the clock. There's three of us selling coconuts.
That's like a day and a half a week is all you got to work if there's three of you.
Exactly.
I love the idea of being the midnight coconut sales guy. I've got the dog hours from 10 to 6.
That's when all the drunks
This is why I'm not
get...
going to Key West.
Yeah, it's when all the drunks want coconuts.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, and it's been this way ever since you started going to this little excursion. For me, it's so the mothership of Otero Consulting, Santa Fe Boutique Wines and Spirits is the legislative session, and so that's always when the session is going or about to begin, and that's for 3 more years, hopefully.
Okay, 3. All right. After 3 years, then I guess retirement, and then you're down there with us.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll start liking everybody again.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I got some breaking news. The biggest barrier of going is not the costs that are down there. Key West, expensive, not super expensive, in terms of food and entertainment and things like that. But what gets you, and not even necessarily the travel isn't terrible if you book your flights at an appropriate time. It's the rooms. The rooms are atrocious. They're so expensive, but
they are.
That being said, a couple things are falling in line. Whenever we'd go down there, there's 2 festivals that are going on, the Food and Dining Festival and Mile Zero. So those 2 festivals have always happened when we were down there. It actually works to our advantage because it pulls a bunch of people away from the bars and restaurants. The Food and Dining people are going to specific venues, and you can outline where you can look at just stay away from those venues. You won't run into any of those folks. And then Mile Zero is a music festival that is off-site. It's not actually in Key West. Most of them stay in Key West because that's where the hotels are. but they're not there. They're not taking up.
What a misnomer for a music festival to name it after the 0 mile marker at US 1 and then not to have it in Key West.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, we're going to have that in St. Augustine. It's 500 miles away.
Right. So my understanding, of course, Food and Dining has moved. It's gone to somewhere else. I think Georgia now. They got sick of the hotel room prices and packed up and moved. And I also understand this is the last year for Mile Zero too.
Really?
So, yes. So that means there's going to be a bunch of rooms available. Hopefully the price of those rooms is going to go down. So I'm very excited about this. This could be the one thing that just keeps, because our attendance really suffered this year because it's the highest it's ever been, and we're usually in the 30 to 40 to as high as like 48 or something like that. And we got 21 this year.
Yeah.
20. Yeah. So much lower than usual, but I get it. The prices are high.
Who are you guys most looking forward to joining the trip? Who's not been on the ABV Network trip to Key West?
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Mitten. I always say that.
Wow.
Macaulay
Breaking
Culkin will be
news.
there.
All right, I'm
It's
going
gonna be
now.
awesome.
The actor.
Huge.
Oh, Macaulay Mitten. Macaulay Mitten.
Macaulay Mitten will be there with his girlfriend Avery.
Yes, that's a big one. So yes, so
Yep.
Dark Arts is a very huge brand. I mean, there's so much interest in. They're doing great things. So getting to hang out with Macaulay, and he's kind of known
Awesome.
to be a little crazy. So that's kind of cool. The Tomaszewskis are going. They haven't been
Yeah.
before, so it's going to be cool to see it with them.
My friend Chelsea's going to be there this
Chelsea's
year.
going to be
Very
there.
excited
So
for that.
Becca has a personal friend that's going to be there, so that's going to be cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Is
always
she
love
from?
the stories.
Where's she from, Becca?
She is from Wyoming, from Pinedale, Wyoming, a very tiny city of 2,000 people. Which also, oddly enough, okay, this is a random fact. So Pinedale's actually I don't think it's 2,000 people. I think it's I don't know. It's a very small town in Wyoming. Somehow I know 2 people from there from separate things in my life. I know 2 people from this tiny town in Wyoming, which is very strange.
Do they know
but
one
she's-
another? Do they know one another?
They do, but not because I didn't know they knew each other until
Gotcha.
years
Right.
later. Which is strange.
It's hard for them not to know each other.
Yeah, exactly. So that's weird. But she is from Wyoming. She kind of lived all over the place because her husband's job, he was a welder. He passed away, and so then she had moving to Arizona. And now she got married again, and now she's getting divorced because that guy's a piece of shit. And so now she is living in Oklahoma. And so she's gonna be visiting with us down there. So that'll be
I wish
fun.
I was going now because I already know so much about this woman. I could jump off a lot of
Oh,
great
yeah.
talking points.
Super awesome, coolest one of the coolest people I know. Great person. I know Steve's excited to hang out with Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Also very pretty, so
Yeah.
that doesn't hurt anything at all.
Right.
But
She may take
very-
over for Kate Upton for me, so it could be
Exactly.
just be Chelsea. Or I'll just be
That's,
talking about Chelsea all the time.
yeah,
It'll be
that's
weird
Steve.
because I'll actually know her.
Yeah.
Whereas Kate Upton's like this. You'll never meet her anyway. Who cares? And I'll be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Chelsea.
Never say never.
I'm excited to see Chelsea. I do have to
Exactly.
hold my
You
gut
can't
in
not
for-
be
for
excited
7
to see
days.
Chelsea. My husband also just thinks that she's the coolest chick ever, so that's fun because I can they both gang up against me, which is fun for everybody else, obviously, except for me. So that will be a fun thing, and she's never gone before, so I think that it's definitely Key West is definitely more fun when you're with someone is in your group that has never been before. Because if you're just with, let's say, 10 people and everyone's been to Key West numerous times before, you're like, well, we're not going to go to Hemingway's. We're not going to go to the Lighthouse. We've already done these things 5 times already in the past with the exact same people. So it's fun when we have new people who've never gone and we get to kind of be the tour guides and show them around and be like, oh, General Horseplay, this is where we're going to get some of the best cocktails at. Oh, and this is where we're going to get some really good food at over here. Oh, here's this cool Italian place that I feel like no one knows about. So it's fun to go with people who've not gone before.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited for is some new faces.
Goeken, I don't think you weighed in on why you're not going.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I don't know why I'm not going. Actually, I told
There's still time.
Not too
Yeah,
late.
I told the wife today. She's like, "What's the show's about?" And I said, "Well, the first one's about why we're not going to Key West." And she's like, "What's in Key West?" I was like, "Well, it's the Bourbon Key West Awards, that Steve does down there." She's like, "Why aren't you going?" I was like, "Well."
Because you thought you would get the no, so you in your mind, rather than presenting it, you're just like, she's going to veto this.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Captain. Find your way to
Honestly,
sunny
waiting
Florida.
till
What
the
are you
snow was
waiting
probably
for?
the best time to wait. It's like it's snowing out, so
Right.
she's probably down now.
Right.
Yeah. She's got school, so it would be, me without her. So honestly, it's, we my work shuts down for about a week and a half at Christmas. So I took that day ahead and 2 days behind. So I was off work for 2 weeks. So this week was my first week back to work. And I didn't think I could take a bunch of time off from work, but next year
With the lower room prices, yes.
Yeah, well, and I won't really I won't have a full-time job. I know that much.
Yeah.
So
So we know that you are also looking at retiring, but you're doing a thing where you will be going somewhere for the winter. Will that mean you can't go when you're in that full mode? You can't, or will you be able to come over there and go back to wherever you're going to?
yeah, no, I'll be in South Texas for the winter, but I think I would probably fly because you think, wow, Texas and Florida, it's just that little gulf that's between them, but it's a long ass drive.
It is.
Yeah.
It would be
all the way around. It'd be like a big U. You'd have.
It would be about 3 times as long for me to drive there from where we're going to be in Texas, instead of us driving from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like I could just about go home and then go. So I'd have to fly.
Mm-hmm.
You really should go. I mean, we have an absolute blast. Like Steve tries to plan out different things for us every year. At least one sort of like boat excursion. There's 2 different ones this year you can go on. And then like just like hanging out on Duval. We have the bar crawl this year, which I'm looking forward to. The bourbon dinner I think is going to be pretty cool.
That's the first this year. We're doing a
It's
bourbon
gonna be a
dinner.
first. And I like doing that kind of stuff at the VFW because I know that they need money.
Right.
So I enjoy having these kind of like fundraisers at the VFW, and the food's good there. So like,
Food is very good there.
so I think it's a cool thing for the VFW too to like host us like this, and
That's great. Yeah.
yeah. So like,
When
it's cool to,
they've
it's cool
got-
to raise money for the VFW because I'm sure that they are like need
It's
more
an expensive
customers.
place, right?
Yeah, and it's cool to do something like this. That's like this is not a thing in Key West. Like this is not something that's a normal thing that happens all the time in Key West. So I think it's
I would guess there's not usually 5 distillers down there that are
We'll
known
have
on
what,
a national level. Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor Morley of Redline. We'll
Redline.
have Ryan Thompson from 10th Mountain. Royce, obviously, and Beka will be there. You got the Tomaszewskis, and then you've got Macaulay. So,
Yeah. So that's
you
gonna
get
be
But not
5
Culkin.
yeah.
no, not
Macaulay
not
Culkin will
Culkin.
be-
No.
That's gonna be, I think, super cool. When does this show come out, Steve? Is this one?
It comes out
I
the
believe today is
16th, yeah.
Thursday, January 16th. Happy Thursday, everyone.
Happy
Yeah.
Thursday.
Do we not
Yeah.
pretend it's the actual day anymore? We give it up on illusions.
We try.
Okay. Well, I had a great Thursday.
Phil, funny enough, there was someone who came in who thought that we recorded this every morning
Sure.
and thought that I was just blacked out drunk every single day.
Right.
I've gotten that when I've talked to people.
Yeah,
They're
like
I listened to you do your show this morning. I was like, well, first of all, it's not live. Second of all, I didn't do it this morning.
it's like you think that I was just getting obliterated at like 6 a.m.
Pretty tough,
and they're
isn't it?
like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Highly
so-
functioning.
yeah, I'm like, so you really had quite a vision of me in your head then. Like I was just getting like passing out drunk on shows. Like I'm so drunk, I'm passing out on some shows on occasion
Right.
at like 6 a.m.
No one wants to see how the sausage is made, Miss Beka Sue.
Yeah. Wild. We do not record this live. I hate to break it to you.
Well, Steve, it sounds like a blast. Count me in for next year. It always sneaks up on me. I always, when the time I realize it's in late January, I've missed the boat. I've missed my window.
Okay. You need to go. Yeah.
Schedules get full.
We got a
Bourbon
pub
needs to
crawl
be
this year too. 10 pubs.
Sounds
Yeah,
awesome. I can't wait to hear about it and see photos.
Yeah, I do want to clarify too. You don't have to stay like Steve does the Fairfield,
Fairfield, yeah.
Fairfield Inn. which is a great place, and it's fantastic to stay there. Well, but you can stay anywhere. Like,
Anywhere you
don't
want.
have to
Well, I'm
stay.
a Ritz
And you don't have to do all the
loyalist,
things.
so-
Sure.
Yeah, so you can stay anywhere. We're staying at the La Concha, which is right on Duval Street, because we don't like to Uber. And so like that's like we stay somewhere else every single year. We've stayed all over the island, literally. And
It's
like
fun.
it's kind of fun to switch around where you're staying at too, because there's so many interesting places. We've done Airbnbs, we've done the southernmost the South Winds Hotel. We stayed at the Marriott. We've stayed everywhere. And I think it's kind of fun to jump around all the different hotels because it's a way different experience every single time that you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
What's closest to where all the action is?
Well, it depends on the action.
Your action.
La Concha would be right there.
The evening action though is where Steve's at, 'cause they do bottle shares at night. But the La Concha is the only hotel or larger hotel that's like right in the middle of Duval.
Right. Yeah.
But there's hotels and Airbnbs and things everywhere. So and really everything is just like there's bus rides. I think they have free bus rides.
Yeah, where
all
we
around
stay,
the
it's
mall.
like a 5-minute bus ride, and it's
Yeah.
free. It's free. You jump on. They pick
there's-
up. Once an hour. Or
Water
so.
taxis. There's regular taxis and there's Ubers.
Ubers,
And so
yeah.
it can be a lot of walking, but you can also rent golf carts and mopeds and bicycles
Yeah,
and things
yeah.
like that. So
The one thing you don't want to cruise around in Key West is a car. There's just no place to park or anything like that. A
Yeah.
car would be a hindrance. You would take it, and then you'd have to park way far away. Then you'd have to
Yeah.
pay a lot to park, and then you'd have to go. It gets in the
Yeah.
way. A car is something you do not need in Key West. So I take it, and we park at the hotel and just stay there because I'm driving down. But yeah, that's it.
Steve,
How,
wouldn't you
how
say
many
that
people are you expecting?
My guess is about 21.
Yes, 21 this year.
this year?
This year, yeah.
Right.
Steve, I guess you haven't had this experience because you drive down, but one of the best feelings when you fly down to Key West is so you fly down, you touch down in Key West, and I think they're changing this, but for the longest time they did not have like the jetways at the airport, and so in Key West you land, and then they open up the doors on the plane. And as you start getting closer,
Step
and
out
closer
on the
to
tarmac,
plane,
yeah.
you just all of a sudden start smelling that like nice like salt air, and then all of a sudden you step out and you're like, I am in Florida, and it just like because it just like the heat or the humidity and the salt air just like hits you, obviously because you're walking off of a plane into the atmosphere, so it just is like that's the best part of the Key West trip is like you're like. Your brain chemistry changes the second you step off that plane into Key West, and it is the best.
Who flies into Key West? Is it a decent sized airport, or I think it would be fairly small, isn't it?
It's a small airport, but full size planes fly
Yeah,
there
they
all
serve
the time.
it. Say there's Allegiant flies in there, Delta, United, American. I would guess Frontier as well. I mean, every single major airline flies in.
Okay.
So. And
It's
there's-
really convenient. Yeah,
yeah, and it's a super easy airport.
it's like walking distance to the hotel where I stay at. We stay right by the airport.
It's a very easy airport, assuming that, well, the only hard part about that airport was figuring out where to return a car at one year. We were like, we circled that airport for like 25 minutes because we're like, where the fuck do we fucking return this car at? We could not figure it out it was me and my brother. We've been driving all day. We're like, where the fuck do we
Sounds like
drop this
alcohol's
damn
involved
car
here.
off
I
at?
don't know. Yeah, it's the place because the place is small, and so there's
It's
not
tiny, but
right. Yeah,
but they're redoing it. They're rebuilding the airport now. So
you're right. They are working on it, so we'll see what happens. The other thing is you can fly into Miami and then drive down. So.
That's a fun drive. I've done that drive. Down
It
to
is
the
a good
Keys.
drive,
I enjoy
yeah.
that drive. Scenic and lovely, and all the bridges.
here's the other option. This is what my brother and I did one year. So we
Oh yeah,
flew
this is a good one
into-
too.
Yeah, so what we did was we flew into Fort Myers,
Oh yes.
and that's when we rented a convertible and we drove down. That's when we had a hard time figuring out where the hell to drop this car off at. But we did that, and then they have a boat that goes between Fort Myers and Key West. It's this
I've always
like,
wanted to take
huge-
that. Yeah.
It's the coolest boat.
Is it?
It's so Phil, it is so fun. And Fort Myers itself, although I know that they've had some hurricane problems lately, I'm not sure how Fort Myers is currently. But Fort Myers itself is such a fun town to hang out in.
It's beautiful there.
Their downtown is really cool. They have a ton of amazing restaurants. Like, everyone there is super nice. One time I accidentally went on a date when I was there. Like, oops. Fort Myers is super cool.
Wait a second, I'm on a date.
Yeah, accidentally did not mean
Happens
to
to the
do
best
that.
of us.
Did
Yeah.
I do that?
Sometimes you just accidentally go on a date, so that was interesting. But Fort Myers itself is like such a cool town, and so we just drove down from there down to Key West because we thought it'd be a cool drive, which it was. But that like the boat, and especially the one so it goes. They drive down to Key West in the morning, so it's kind of an early. I think it's like it leaves at like 7:30, 8 a.m.
How long does that take?
It's 3.5 hours.
Oh, really?
That's not that long.
But it's
Yeah.
beautiful, and you're on a boat. You can sit either inside or outside.
Yeah.
You do
got a bar?
say there's a bar, there's food. You do lose cell phone service, but they do have Wi-Fi on there. And the evening ride from Key West back to Fort Myers, I think it gets there around like 10:30 at night. It is beautiful because you leave before the sun is, or as the sun is coming down. So you get to just watch the sunset from this boat, and it is just amazing. And it's beautiful. And then the sun's down, and you can go outside if you want to. You can sit inside. It kind of feels like a plane, like the seats and everything. And then you just like take a nap till you get back there, and it's awesome. That is one of the coolest rides. Highly suggested, especially if like the flights are more expensive or you just don't want to fly into Key West. Fly into Fort Myers. And
Did
take
you
that boat.
Did you see what I saw the last time you and I went on a sunset cruise? Right at sunset.
Oh, I saw what you saw. I got photos
that-
of it.
is-
I got to see Steve Akeley's face as he saw what I saw. And it was, I've never seen a man look more excited in my entire life. And the fact that I was in the middle
like a
of
model
taking
on a
photos.
boat. Yeah.
I'm in the middle of
Yeah.
taking photos of everyone. I'm having fun.
It
And
was
then
nice.
Steve
Usually
goes,
it's not nice. You see accidental
Boobs!
like that's not nice.
boobs. And this woman,
I was like the iceberg straight ahead. I was like, boobs, straight ahead.
to be fair, she did not flash us. She was just driving a boat completely naked.
Yeah.
As
It
one
was nice.
does when you own a boat.
Sure.
And
Bless
here's
her heart.
Yeah. You get me, not the boobs.
I have never seen you smile that big.
Where's the boobs?
I was having a good day. Look at that. I was.
You got to talk, Becca, so you get large on the screen.
Yeah.
it was. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I guess I got it's because you've got the thing on there. So I'll keep talking here, Jim, so you can see Steve. So here's Steve getting all excited. It's a lot of photos.
Yeah. Look how happy I am.
Excitement on his face.
That was a good moment in my life right there. Yeah.
Today's
That
episode
man-
of the Bourbon Daily is brought to you by the Key West Board of Tourism. Visit Key West. See boobs.
He was so excited. So there's another plus to Key West.
Yes.
Is
right, I'm in.
nudity is a real thing up there. I saw some of our friends from Cincinnati the other day, and I was like, "Oh, we're going to Key West. You guys should join us." And she said, "Oh, we were just there not too long ago. I wish we could go, but we got some other stuff going on." I was like, "Oh, did you like Key West?" And she said, "Yeah, we went to the nude bar."
Oh yeah.
I went, "Oh,
Garden
I
of
said,
Eden?
"What?" Well, yeah, Garden of Eden. I said, "Oh, what'd you guys think of
Boy,
that?"
that's,
She
that's
said,
right on the nose, huh? With that name?
"Yeah, Garden of Eden. It's on the roof of the bowl
There's this one big fat guy that's naked out there all the time.
with a beard."
And
Beard.
then there is
I
like,
wonder
the same
where
guy.
Steve
The same
goes.
guy's there every time. Yeah.
So I said, "So what'd you guys think of the nude bar?" And she said, "I got a drink and I turn around and my husband was completely naked." And I just started laughing and I said, "Oh, okay." She goes, "We went back the next night." And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "And so I just got completely naked."
Well,
And I look at my husband and he was fully clothed that night. And I was like, I guess
Gotta get
that's-
on the same page.
yeah. there you
Yeah.
go.
So,
It feels like there should be pineapple.
yeah. Yeah. So you can get nude. You can get fully nude in Key West as well, I guess. I've never
There you
done
go.
that.
If you're
but
into that, there you go. There
it's
you
an
go.
option. They do have charters that are, they say clothing optional on the charters.
There you go.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Goeken, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook at Jim Goeken.
Phil?
I'm on the Instagram and the Twitter and various places at Derby City Phil.
Luke?
You can find me at Santa Fe Boutique Wines on Instagram and on LinkedIn, Luke Otero.
Miss Beka Sue?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me. The ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I just like to remind our audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
See you, everyone.
Adios.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.